Shalom. Shalom Israel. This lesson is going to be quick. I just want to touch something that I've seen on YouTube, speaking on the UFOs, as everybody else knows them, but we know them as the Chariots. And I'm going to play these two quick videos, and I'm going to get just a couple scriptures, and then that's going to end it, because they have been seeing a lot of UFO sightings in military, and they're starting to report on it in the news and stuff. So we're going to see what Trump has to say about it, and then we're going to watch what the military and what they say about it. First and foremost, though, I want to start off by saying I want to give all praises and honor unto Yahweh, and by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakak Kadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders that rule well, and salutation to you hopeful elect out there. So we're going to get into this.
Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, and crypto.
Well, after decades of denial and secrecy and flat-out lying, America's defense establishment is finally admitting some of what it knows about UFOs. The Navy has admitted that its pilots encounter unidentified aircraft so often that they've had to draft new reporting guidelines to allow pilots to come forward. It's easy to find this funny, but it's also scary if you think about it. Our vast, well-funded defense establishment is seeing things in the sky they cannot account for, doing things they cannot understand. Should we be worried? Congressman Mark Walker is a Republican.
And he made a point. The Chariots, they do things that Esau does not understand. They're scared, man. They're wondering what is going on. What are these unidentified objects that's flying around and all that stuff? Because the Chariots, they don't move like planes and all these fighter jets and stealth bombers. They don't move in the sky, and they don't maneuver like these planes do. They zip, they can teleport, they can go here, go there. Esau might be chasing one, it might just disappear on them, end up behind them. It might just shoot straight up in the sky, just shoot sideways. But Esau's planes, they don't do that. They have to, if they want to completely turn around or go backwards, they would have to completely go straight and then turn all the way completely around and then go that direction. You think the Chariots got to do that? No, they want to turn around and zoom and just zip backwards, zoom straight in the sky, zoom sideways, zoom diagonal, and they're moving. And he gets to say that they move at phenomenal speeds, man. Esau can't do that with his technology, man. Their technology is not up to par with the Most High. Let's keep going on the video. Now I'm gonna get the scriptures on that.
Representing the state of North Carolina, he just sent a letter to the Secretary of the Navy, Richard Spencer, about the military's UFO investigations. We recently spoke to the congressman. Here's part of what he said. Should we be worried about this?
Well, we are concerned about it. As the ranking member of Terrorism and Counterintelligence, we have questions. It comes down to some of the new infrared radar systems that we're putting on some of our new jets are detecting some things out there. We call them unidentified aerial threats, and that's something that we're looking at. Our UAPs is what we call it. We want to know the information, and that's why it's important that we take a look at this.
So this has been going on an awfully long time. There's a lot of data the government has stored about this. Most of it, I think, is still classified. But there must be theories about what these objects are, what these aircraft are. What's the most plausible theory, do you think?
Well, what we don't know for sure. Obviously, what we do know is the question that we're wanting to get to is this something that's a defense mechanism from another country? We do know that China is looking at hypersonic missiles. That's 25,000 kilometers, or to break it down into our language, that's getting from D.C., where I'm at, to L.A. in about 9 minutes. We don't know that the nuclear warheads can be attached to those. Is it something like that, or is it something more? We don't know, but I feel like it's something that we must take a look at, and that's why we've written Secretary Spencer of the Navy.
Is there any indication that you're aware of that these sightings are foreign aircraft, Russian or Chinese aircraft?
We don't know. We have no evidence to support that. We do know there's something that's traveling at that speed of what we call hypersonic now, which is a Mach 4 or 5. Not to get too technical.
They call it hypersonic speed. They can't keep up with the Chariots. Hypersonic speeds. They're moving so fast that they can't keep up, and you can tell they're worried about it. They don't know. They might know. More than likely, but Trump, he knows. And we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna play a couple more seconds to this.
That is something that we want to know. Is this something that another defense system in another country is more advanced, or is it something else? We're not trying to spook people out, but the AATIP, which is basically a program that the government monitors this, was to close down in 2017. So part of my question, Tucker, is it really closed down? Are we still spending resources, or is there more documentation that this program is still being able to file somewhere? That's something that we need to know, even if it's just for defense purposes alone.
We spoke to a government employee who has worked on this issue, who said that the U.S. government has wreckage from one of these aircraft. Do you know anything about that?
Okay, yeah, now that's going off. They that's what they're lying about. They're trying to make it seem like they knocked down, or it was a they making it seem like one of the Chariots crashed, and Angel went back and reported to the Most High. I messed up. I crashed the Chariot, and Esau has it. Now they do it. No. They don't know. Ain't no crash Chariots. Esau does not have that. They lying on that. They saying that to make it seem like they could see what materials it's made out of, what kind of technologies in it, so they can replicate what they have. But they can't do that. They're just trying to keep y'all docile and think they got what am I trying to say? They think they got some of the material, and they think they got what these so-called aliens have, and so they think they could replicate the Chariots, which ain't no falling Chariots, they didn't crash, and none of that. That's it on that. That was only 29 seconds. We're going to get to see what Trump said.
Skepticism. I think everyone...
Our interview with the president didn't simply focus on foreign policy or the decay of American cities, though you could fill hours of programming on those topics. The federal government is being increasingly open about its decades-long investigation of UFOs. They have spent millions of dollars
and then, slack you on that, so keep pausing. But you know that we're almost at 12 o'clock midnight. We're almost at the end, man. The Chariot sightings is getting more and more plain and obvious. Also, what was I about to say? World war is getting closer and closer, because you can tell, because the news is what you see. When you turn on the news, what do you see all the time? You see nothing but North Korea this, Trump that, Iran shot down this, Iran shot down that, and that's all you see. So you can tell. And also it says in Matthew, he said, what did Yahushua say? He said that there should be rumors and rumors of war. So that's how you know we're getting closer and closer to the end. Because exactly for that reason. Anytime you turn it, and when you go on Google, you see nothing about World War III. Safest places to go if this was to happen. Well, why do you think this is all over the place? Because we're getting closer and closer to that time, and people don't believe that. Oh, I'm not gonna be living in the time of World War III, brother. But it's worry about our grandkids. No, it's getting closer and closer, man. There's a certain day, certain hour, certain minute, certain month, certain year, second, minute that this place is gonna go down.
Officials admit now they've seen many things they don't understand. We decided to ask the president about it. Here was his semi-cryptic answer. Watch.
You gave an interview the other day in which you said you've been briefed on unidentified flying objects. Are they real?
Well, I don't want to really get into it too much, but personally, I tend to doubt it. I mean, you have people that swear by it, right? And pilots have come in and they said, and these are pilots that are not pilots that are into that particular world, but we have had people saying that they've seen things. I'm not a believer, but, you know, I guess anything's possible.
We spoke to a government official recently who said the U.S. government had wreckage from a UFO in a facility on an Air Force base. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't heard that, no. I haven't heard that. It has not been within government, has not been a big thing, but I've seen it. I've seen it on your show, but I've seen it. I don't assume it's correct, but, you know, I have an open mind, Tucker.
No, you do, Mr. President. Thank you for that.
Nowadays, you can believe anything, right?
True.
All right, that was it on that. I'm just gonna get to the scriptures. We're gonna end it. I only got 3 scriptures. we're gonna get to Ezekiel because I want to talk about the movement of the chariots. Because as you've seen in the video, the reporter, whoever that was, I don't know his name, the reporter was talking about the, what did he call them, the hypersonic speeds that it was moving at, and they don't move. And he's also talking about how they don't move normally. It's basically what he was saying. Let's get this. Ezekiel 1 verse 15. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by living creatures with its 4 faces. The appearance of the wheels and the work was like unto a color of beryl, green. And they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their 4 sides, and when they turned, they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and the rings were full of eyes round about them. About them 4. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by with them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was the spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, from the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. So it says, wherever the spirit went, it went. So if they wanted to go diagonal, sideways, shoot to another dimension, come back, they can do that. That's the power of the chariots. And Esau doesn't have no technology to stop that. And why do you think Trump has that Space Force? And Trump knows about what's going on. Trump knows about Yahushua coming back. He knows about the chariots. That's what that Space Force is for. He's trying to build up technology to fight these to fight Yahushua and the angels when they come back, because they know that they're fighting something that's beyond this world. They're like, oh, we gotta get prepared. We gotta get some type of technology. That's what they're saying. That's what the dude said in the first clip, that it crashed. A UFO crashed, and they are investigating it. No, they don't got none of that. That's not the case whatsoever. and that's that Trump has that pride, because he's thinking that, oh, I'm not really worried about it. Knowing you shaking in your boots, Trump. But that's that American pride. Who can bring me down to the ground? Pride goes for destruction. Let's get that. I got that in Obadiah. We'll get this last scripture after this, and I'm going to close it out. Obadiah 1 verse 1. The vision of Obadiah thus said, How is thy power? Concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though they exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. And that's that pride right there that got into Trump. Esau is a proud nation of people. Tomorrow, I really don't believe in. I don't think it's real, or all that stuff, man. And he's thinking he has enough power to actually overtake Yahweh Shah and win the war in heaven, which is not the case at all. Here it is, they document and thinking about, well, these things are moving at hypersonic speeds. They're moving in ways that we don't have anything to match that. So how are y'all gonna fight, man? The Most High is gonna put that spirit into y'all to fight. Now, let's get this. This last one. Esau is afraid of the chariots, man. This is 2nd Esdras 13. I'm sure you're gonna get probably straight to the point. I'm gonna start at 6. 2nd Esdras 13 verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had engraved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yes, durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor the sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had a blast of the fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Now that's not talking about his actual mouth. It's talking about it's coming from the chariots. You know, you got Jake come on the comment board. See, brother? See, reptilian. No. See? No. Talking about some mystical stuff. No, it's talking about the chariots. Yahushua was not breathing fire. So they when Yahushua comes back, they gonna see him. They gonna be scared. They gonna what? Because it's gonna be tons of chariots. They gonna what is going on? They gonna see tempests flying out, all types of so-called laser beams, sparks of tempest, of fire, and just turning people, zapping people, turning them to dust. They gonna be so scared, but they gonna have to fight back. We have to do something. Esau's not gonna go down without a fight, man. They're gonna be shaking, and then they're gonna fight back, and they're gonna lose tremendously. Esau is getting scared of the chariots. Trump tried to play it off and tried to put on a different face. I really don't believe they're real. But what do you get the Space Force for then? If you don't think they're real, come on now. You gotta see past that. But that's it, man. That's it on the lesson. Just want to watch those 2 little clips and get a couple scriptures. So the chariots, they're coming back. Say the elect, and we're gonna get beamed up in them, and we leaving in the ships. Also, that's what that Space Force is for. When Trump announced that Space Force, that's what that Space Force is for, to fight against Yahushua and the angels. So with that, we'll close out. Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakah, Kadash. Double honor to our